Okay, I'm going to talk about two different strategies we can use to deal with our ideological opposition and also our behavioral opposition. So, if we see somebody believing or behaving in a way that we deem harmful to society, how can we deal with that behavior or those beliefs? So, this first strategy, the more common one, I would say, is criticism. Okay, and this criticism ultimately attaches the beliefs or behaviors of an individual strictly to that individual. Okay, and what's the outcome of this strategy? Well, in all likelihood, the person's going to get defensive. Okay, when you blame a person for their behaviors or their beliefs, they're going to get defensive. They're not going to question the things you're saying or the things you're criticizing of them. They're going to get fearful and they're going to, in all likelihood, dig in deeper to those beliefs. So, if this strategy has worked for you in the past, it's not likely because you had some magical combination of words that changed their perception. In all likelihood, they were already questioning their beliefs and behaviors, and they were looking for a change. And you may have just been the catalyst that tipped them over the edge. So, what's the other strategy? Well, the other strategy is instead of purely attaching beliefs and behaviors to the individual, we attach those beliefs and behaviors to a combination of the individual and the individual's environment. Okay, now the thing about this strategy is this is how reality actually works, right? I mean, you are not an individual. You are a combination of all of the inputs that's gone into your brain since the day you were born, okay? We cannot keep pretending that we are all uh, just free to become whoever we want when we are largely shaped by our environment, perhaps completely shaped by our environment. So, in reality, this is actually the logical strategy because it's the one that lines up with the way that we become who we are. So, when you blame individuals for their behaviors purely for put all the blame on the individual, what happens is you never actually address the environmental factors that led to those behaviors and beliefs. So those behaviors and beliefs are just going to keep recycling. They're going to keep like replicating themselves into new humans or different humans because again, we never addressed the environmental factors. We just treated the problem. We treated the most recent symptomatic individual rather than actually addressing the problem. So when you go about this strategy, what's the best way to go about implicating this? Well, we need to find common ground with our opposition, okay? We need to learn more about their environment so that we can better deconstruct their beliefs and their behaviors to better understand them. And in addition to that, we also need to learn to ask questions, okay? If we ask the right questions that challenge the margins of their beliefs, then we can begin to change their environment, and in effect you become part of their environment that changes their perceptions. Okay, so what's the limitations of this second strategy? Because there's definitely limitations. Where do we draw the line? Where do we need to where do we draw the line? Well, and the way I see it is we draw the line at violence. Okay, if a person's behaving violently, we can no longer allow them to live in this world freely because they're beginning to infringe on the rights of others, on the pursuit of happiness of other individuals. But beyond violence, I mean, we really need to encourage this strategy of understanding. Okay, this strategy of fixing the environmental factors rather than blaming individuals, because otherwise we're just going to continue to get divided. We're going to continue to dig into our radical beliefs deeper and deeper until eventually we're at each other's throats. So if we take these violent individuals out of the picture, then we can all just talk and understand each other better, and we can fix the environmental factors again. So I'd like to give that a little thought, and leave a comment if you want. Thanks for watching.